Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Adam Cortes Davis, and my number is 2310731014. Good night, everyone. Tonight, I would like to discuss, I would like to kind of talk about the material that I've just read, which is about psycholinguistics, neurolinguistics, and clinical linguistics. Now, psycholinguistics, just like the name, psycholinguistics. So that is a branch of linguistics that kind of studies about the psychological effects of a human that has to do with language. Now, there's a lot to the material that has to be discussed in depth, but I'm only going to talk about the main ideas. Now, there are like three main branches that linguists study in a person. The first one is the comprehension, and then the production and the acquisition. Now, comprehension, just like comprehension, so how linguists would analyze someone or anyone about their comprehension to a certain language. So, for example, a listener. So, if someone is speaking, then they would analyze the listener and how they would comprehend what they have just listened, and they would study in depth about what they are talking and other stuff. And same goes with reading. So after someone has read something, then linguists would analyze what their comprehension of the reading was, of the reading passage or whatever it was. Now, with production means like how humans product a language, like how they would analyze and how people would talk based off of their mind. Basically, it's like that. And then is acquisition, how humans acquired their first language, their second language, or how babies or children acquisized their language when they were first born or whatever. Now, that is the study of psycholinguistics, in which linguists study. So basically, it has to do with the psychological effect of a person that language affects on them, basically. Now, the next part is neurolinguistics. Now, neurolinguistics is the branch of linguistics that studies what has to do between linguistics and the brain. So, what's connected. Now, the brain is a very complex organ. It has many tissues. It controls our body. It controls every aspect of our lives on what we do, including language, all right? So there are many ways that language could affect the brain. So, for example, because a brain is such a complex organ, like one blow or one hit to your brain could cause some major damages to your cell or to yourselves. Yeah. So one blow or whatever, a damage to your brain could affect the speaking or whatever of your language. Now, the disorder or the I forgot. Basically, like the part where you kind of damage your language capability because your brain got damaged. I think it's called aphasia, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Now, that's what it's called. And the brain controls all of your language parts, and the brain controls a lot of your language part, and it is mostly located on your left side of the brain. And there's two parts of it. It's called the BA and the WA. I forgot what it stands for. I think it's like Bronx area and Wickerferen area. I forgot the guy's name, but basically that's what's controlling you or your brain from speaking the language. Now, there are many ways that the brain can affect your IQ level as well, because the language has to do something with understanding your understandings of a material or whatever in life. That has to do with that as well. Now, that's neurolinguistics, and Clinical linguistics is basically like the name clinical, so it's language disabilities, basically. I mean, not in a negative, but yeah, language disabilities. So it's a branch of linguistics that kind of studies or reads or understands the part of language that has to do with disabilities of humans speaking or listening or whatever that has to do with language. Now I'm gonna give an example. So for example, like a child can't really say window, so a child might say window or whatever because their tongue probably hasn't developed well yet or some other circumstance that might have happened. Now linguists study that in clinical linguistics. Same goes with grammar. So for example, a child might make some grammar mistakes like mouses instead of mice, or tooked instead of took. So there are many ways that linguists could analyze and see where someone made a mistake and see what the problem of that mistake was. And if you guys noticed, all three of them were totally connected to each other. So neurolinguistics, psycholinguistics, and clinical linguistics, because if you, for example, if your neurolinguistics has a problem, so for example your brain has a problem in processing language or whatever, that means then the people from the clinical linguistics would study that, and then the people from psycholinguistics would also analyze that as well. So I guess that's it for material. I apologize because I tried to understand it, but it's kind of hard to understand the material. But I tried my best, and thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.